speaking of faith, let's jump right into the Charlie Kirk Memorial that happened this past weekend. 60,000 people in attendance in Phoenix, Arizona. We were there as well. Vinny, myself, Pat, Tom, Adam, as well as Patrick's kids were there. Here's a photo of the event. That is the world's richest man.
And Elon Musk.
And Elon's not yet.
What's cool is, I believe, were you there when they had concession stands? I had mixed emotions about the event. There were moments where it felt more like it was a wrestling event than a memorial. There were fireworks. They were selling hot dogs and pretzels, and concession stands were open. But Mateo, one of the guys that was with us, went and got a whole bunch of food for everybody because we had not eaten. We landed into Phoenix at like 10 o'clock in the morning, went straight to the stadium, and then we were starving. We had nothing to eat. Mateo went and got a whole bunch of hot dogs, a whole bunch of pretzels, and popcorn for everybody. And apparently he was handing it out and asked Elon Musk, Elon, would you like a hot dog? And Elon said, yes, I'm actually pretty hungry. So technically, Mateo bought the world's richest man a hot dog at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
And I didn't, by the way, I wasn't there for it. By the way, that's his seat. I was in that seat. And then I just see him walking, all the security, and then Mateo goes, get up, you're actually sitting in his seat. I go, what?
So
Why'd you tell me? I
stole your seat and your hot dog.
I stole his seat. Then he took it back, and then I didn't know that he already had a hot dog, so I offered him another one, and he was like this. He's like, I can't. And I looked at him and I went, yes, you can.
Is he a mustard guy?
He ate it plain, like a savage.
Well, like the alien
Like
from
alien.
Mars that he is. That's why he wants to go back. Elon has a very odd body shape. Could you find the photo of Elon off the boat?
Oh,
do you remember that weird
It
photo
looked
where
like mashed potatoes in a clear garbage bag.
It's very odd because his chest is it's protruding, like his entire chest. Yeah, there's the photo.
That's not him.
No,
That's
no,
not
all
it.
the way to
Don't show it yet. I got to find the real one.
Okay, there's
That's
a photo
it.
from the side where
That's it.
It definitely doesn't look like Captain America. But yes, there's a weird like rib cage.
Yeah,
and
what the hell is
It really
that?
looks like a reptilian. That's why I'm convinced. I love them. I drive a Tesla. It's one of the greatest cars ever created. I crashed one going 90 miles an hour, hit a guardrail 4 times, walked away unscathed. I love X. I love Tesla. I love SpaceX. But that guy is an alien. When you look at that body, you go, that is a frog human that wants to return to his home planet of
that's
Mars,
very weird.
which is why he's also into digging tunnels, which is probably what they use to get around on Mars since the surface
weird.
level was too hot.
Very weird.
That's Elon Musk. But it was very cool to see him in person. It was the who's who of MAGA at Charlie Kirk's funeral
man.
memorial service. I saw Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, President Trump,
Marco
J.D.
Rubio.
Vance, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. The entire cabinet and administration was there. Can you guys imagine what other funeral could be held outside of a head of state, just a regular figure in the world, political commentator or athlete or musician or actor that could get the entire cabinet to show up to their memorial?
I can tell
service?
you one.
Nobody.
I can tell you one.
Who?
George Floyd.
Well, okay.
Okay, different times.
What year did George Floyd die?
That was 2020.
So was
No.
the Biden administration already in office?
Yes.
So that's who they'll show up for. It was surprising. And you guys point out now, a single Democrat. And I was having this conversation with my wife and my son last night. My son's paying more attention to politics than ever before. One of the conversations we had was what a sign, what a symbolic gesture it would have been if anybody, one person from the left, even a moderate,
Even
from
John Fetterman.
yeah, you could bring
Bring
him.
your hoodie.
Yeah, show up in your sweatpants. You don't need to put a tux
Yeah.
on. Not a single person from the left showed up for Charlie Kirk's memorial. Think about that. 60,000 people in attendance. Every member of the cabinet. The who's who of MAGA, and not one person can reach across the aisle to show up.
And you know what that person's beyond social score, just like your soul, like walking into this place was, I said this today, even if you were a blind person and you walked in, the aura, the Holy Spirit, I know it sounds corny, but it's not, bro. I felt it. I felt it in this room. And if somebody from the other side would at least showed up and be like, hey, listen, obviously we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things because they're obviously on the other side, but, just to come and show your respect. And it would have said so much about that person, like trying to like at least show some humility. But man, it wasn't seen. Nobody, not one freaking person, not even a Van Jones who admitted like he didn't check his DMs a couple days before the day before Charlie was murdered. But Charlie was like, hey, listen, man, we need to stop this. Let's just have a conversation. Let's agreeably disagree. let's just do it respectfully.
If
but,
there was any person to reach across from the other side to show up, who do you think it could have been? Like, do you see a Bernie Sanders going? I don't see
No.
AOC. You're obviously not going to get these Rashida Tlaibs or Jasmine
No
Crockett
way.
showing
What do
up.
you mean?
But is there anybody that on the left can actually step outside of party lines, look at the situation, and go, we shouldn't be celebrating this guy's death. We should be mourning him, and I'm going to show up as a symbolic gesture.
I
Is there
have
anybody?
one. Ro Kana, the guy that we had.
That's a good
He
one.
seems
he's
reasonable
very
enough.
reasonable.
Who do you think, Connor? Like, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through the list of Democratic politicians that are big enough to make an impact by going, but also centrist enough to try to make that point. I don't know if there are any.
But
There might have been people who showed up, but you would have no idea who they are.
And what does that say
Ro Khanna
about-
might be one of the only ones.
He's the biggest. He has the wealthiest district in America.
What
Bro.
does that say about the left? Because, okay, when Jimmy Carter died, he was a Democratic leader. President Trump showed up as a sign of respect, reach across the aisle. Obviously, it's a president. There's a different... I guess there's levels to this
There's a
where you
difference
can reach
between-
across party lines, but Charlie Kirk didn't meet that.
State funerals carry a certain obligation if you're a member of government. But that's why it's so unique that Charlie essentially got a state funeral, but wasn't in government. Because you think about all the different members of Congress and other levels of government that owe their positions in large part to Charlie. It's like they showed up like they should have, but it would have rang hollow if any Democrats had been there. Like, because it's leftist rhetoric that got him killed in the first place.
Two questions. Vinny, you brought this up, and I think maybe you should be the one that handles it, but you brought up a great point about people on the left celebrating Christ, talking about their religion, practicing Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism. And the point that you had made was who on the left does that?
Not a single person. I was really trying to rack my brain and go, okay, which Democrat, prominent, whatever, even like just openly professes their faith. I really tried to say to myself, okay, let's just say AOC, Christian. Jasmine Crockett, Christian. A lot of these people, Cory Booker, all these guys, I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, they're Christian. None of them vocally out loud. I'm not saying one of these like, hallelujah. No, I'm not saying that. Like just how an average person says, listen, I have my faith. I like, even Caroline Levitt, she wears her cross on her chest.
Unless she's talking about the Epstein file.
Yeah, if she's talking about Epstein, it's hiding. But what? Go ahead.
It's all accessories, all right? It's not even that they don't, wear Christ on their chest or they represent the Christian values. They make a mockery of Christ in their own churches. Have you seen some of these churches, Vinny? Like, did you see when she spoke on that
Ilhan
church?
Omar went in front of a church and she was cussing on the pulpit and they all stood.
The
and they were all
level of
clapping for her.
disrespect, they changed the church to fit their needs, to fit their
man.
political needs. Tom recommended it, yesterday, but I will recommend it again. Ann Coulter, Godless, The Church of Liberalism. That book. If anyone has an interest in this topic, you gotta read it because they put God to the side and they have their own religion that is being liberal.
And
right?
and mind you, I mean this godless. It's like I just don't see it, and it's like you have to have. I don't care who the hell you are. If anybody out there in their mind is like, yeah, well, he talked crap. No. You're the problem. You are the absolute problem that the guy, and by the way, go ahead, show me the racist stuff. When people are like, he was racist. And, okay, stop, time out. Don't, show it to me. Oh, was he saying stuff that bothered you? Was he saying factual stuff that pissed you off because the way that he said it? Okay, yeah, he wasn't the, guess what? Not the nicest things that you want to hear sometimes when he was speaking it. But to shoot someone and kill them because of that, and then your side acts as if, by the way, doubling down, not even budging. Bro, not one of them has shifted. Not one of them has shifted to be like, you know what? Because you know what it is? Once you do that, you have to take like responsibility. You have to take the blame because, bro, even like, what's her name? Kamala Harris, just yesterday, again, she's like, Trump's a tyrant. He's a dictator. It's like, will you shut up for 2 seconds? Shut up. The guy's not even in the ground yet, and you guys just cannot help your demonic selves. Just shut the hell up for 2 minutes. Enough is enough. Robin, it's just, it boggles my mind, But at the same token, I'm like, they serve a different master, either knowingly or unknowingly. If you are celebrating the death of a human being at this level, something is spiritually, besides mentally, because Trump broke everybody, okay? Something is wrong in here. And bro, I woke up this morning, I didn't tweet it, but I got on my hands and my knees in my bedroom, and I prayed for Ilhan Omar. I prayed for AOC. I swear to you, he's my witness. I prayed for every one of these people, for Keith Olbermann, who's threatening the life of Scott Jennings now. He's like, bro, you're next. You're next. That God finds a way. Somebody enters this person's life, either in a human form or some vision, change their freaking souls.
Hey, Vinny.
Like they're lost.
Well, hold on. So I saw a great tweet on what you said. This was by Blair White, who's been, I believe, transgender woman,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And we've spoken openly about people suffering from transgenderism and it being a mental disorder. And for somebody who, in my opinion, if you're doing that to your body, you're going against how you were naturally born. The body that you were born in, you're going against nature when you're doing things
Of
like
course you are.
chopping your penis off and getting breast implants. But also when you're a regular woman and you're putting breast implants in, you're getting butt implants, you're getting fillers in your face. You're going against nature. I don't think that either one is I don't think they're very different, right? They're both, they seem like a mental illness. The people that shoot shit all in their face and they look freakish
Like
and walk around and
lizards.
scare children,
Yeah.
even though they're not chopping off their wieners. That's a weird thing to do to your body, just like, unfortunately, transgenderism is. But I saw Blair White had a really great take on this. She wrote, or he, I don't even, what is the
Whatever.
proper
I don't
term?
even know. I don't even.
Blair wrote, "No one is requiring you to mourn Charlie Kirk. They're asking you not to be a satanic piece of shit who celebrates brutal murder. The bar couldn't be lower, and yet it's still too high for millions of you. Sick."
What? Yeah. Nobody's telling you to cry or just shut up. If you have nothing nice to say about it, just shut up. Let everybody mourn. Let everybody do their thing. And like I said, Rob, when we walked into this freaking arena, bro, nobody was pissed off.
I actually have videos of that if you want to play some of those while you're
you know
talking.
that's a really good lesson. This happened to me personally. I had big difference with the former president of Chile. Big difference. I accused him publicly of everything under the sun, of giving up the Constitution and doing this and stealing here and stealing there. And unfortunately, he passed away. You know, he was in a helicopter accident. And then I didn't have anything nice to say. So I just shut up. I didn't post about it. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't celebrate, still a soul, still has a family, Like we had difference politically, our thinking was different. We didn't agree. We didn't see eye to eye in most things. But then again, going the extra mile to that. Do you see the dancing video? You're pulling up those videos.
I saw. What do you mean? I saw them.
What are they doing?
Yeah, they're captured. There's something has taken over. But did we talk about it? Do we have an unusuals since it happened or no?
Since Charlie's
Since
said,
Charlie's
yes.
said-
Yeah, we did it last week.
So we have. And when I tell you guys, this is the devil literally showed himself in all these people. There's no other if, ands about it. Like the fact that and when they're caught, they keep doing it. They're like, yeah, who cares? Because he was XYZ. Something is really, really off. And again, guys, I can't get mad. My body, for that split second, my body wants to get mad, but then I genuinely feel sorry for these people, bro. They've been brainwashed. Their brains have been cooked. Their souls have been turned to freaking darkness. And the only way is to keep showing how positive we are.
Yeah, Vinny, have you ever heard of the imprecatory Psalms?
No, what's that?
It's in the book of Psalms in the Bible. There are certain Psalms that are written from the perspective of someone who is praying to God against their enemies. Basically saying, God, break the teeth of the wicked in their mouths, turn them to dust, make all their accomplishments come to nothing, destroy them, cast them down. And that is biblical, because that is anger against evil things. So it is not wrong to be angry. It is wrong to sin in your anger. So props to you. And that should be a lesson to all of us. Take the anger you're feeling and give it to God, make it something constructive, because the time of sitting passively and doing nothing while evil people get away with this kind of thing is behind us. It's been behind us for a long time, but I think everyone is finally awake to the fact that we need to do something about it, which is why an event like Charlie Kirk's memorial is so wonderful to see. And of course, we can talk about how it was kind of an impromptu RNC, and the fireworks were a little bit odd, even though they explained why they did that. It was because Charlie always walked out to fireworks on stage.
I've been to 3 of his events. That's what
that
they
was,
do.
that was their thing.
They make everyone walk out to fireworks.
No, but obviously they're going to use that and say,
But
oh,
1000%.
criticism.
to the uninitiated, they might think it's odd that you got all these politicians giving speeches at a funeral.
Well, it is weird that Trump headlines the event and Erica Kirk doesn't. In my opinion, I think that was handled the wrong way. The most impactful message throughout the entire day was that of Erica Kirk's. 100%. And the fact that Erica Kirk, I get it, it's the president. There's levels to this shit. And so Trump's got to go last, but in my opinion, I don't think he should have. I think, I'll be honest, we were there. People were walking out during Trump's speech. They wanted to beat traffic. They wanted to get ahead of it.
Course.
That's part of the reason why you don't have Trump speak. Now, maybe that was done so that people weren't walking out on Erica, but I don't think they would have. We've heard it became a portion of this, and we'll play it here. Look, I like Trump. I do. There's things I disagree with him on. Just like Charlie Kirk, there are things I disagree with Charlie Kirk on. This is the conversation I had with my son yesterday was, listen, when I can't sit here and say that everything that Charlie said I agree with. If I did, then I'd be a cult member. I'd be a brainwashed person who just believes in everything that everybody says. I'm not that way. I like to think outside of the box. There are certain things that Charlie Kirk has said in the past that I don't necessarily agree with. Does that make me think that he's evil or I think that he has ill intentions? No, I actually respect the actual work that he did, the improvement that he made regarding the conservative movement, the reach that he had. How many other people are going to have 100,000 plus people show up, 40,000 of which can't even get inside the stadium and are turned away? Matt Zapala flew from Dallas with no ticket and literally said, I'm hoping to get in on Faith. And Faith got him into that event.
That was
There
a
is a
miracle.
spiritual revival happening in the United States of America, and it's because of Charlie Kirk. I can also look at that and go, there are things that he said that I disagree with. We'll get into the Nick Fuentes interview that Pat did earlier this morning. There are things that Nick Fuentes has said that I disagree with, but I find him a very effective communicator.
And that's totally and that's the problem with people is they think we're just these blind loyalists. How much crap have we talked about Trump and Epstein and Cash and all these people? But you notice on the other side, Biden, when Biden was in, no, he's not losing his mind. You guys are crazy. Not one criticism. And that's the difference between one side and the other side. Name one leftist that bashed Biden when he was in. Go ahead.
nobody.
No, really, go ahead and try to think. I dare you. I'm on a podcast.
Taylor Lorenz.
But is she
No,
really?
she's progressive. She's a radical
But I love the
progressive.
word. What the hell does progressive makes it sound like it's like it's cute? You're a leftist. You're a off the cliff leftist, and I love that you set it up. How can you blindly Charlie? I disagree with a lot of things. Trump, especially this past year, a lot of disagreements. But when it comes to just decency, bro, it's like decency. Like if Biden died, when Biden got cancer. Who was celebrating besides Taylor Lorenz? Someone on that side.
The one example that
what are we
Humberto
talking about?
had.
I love how they all go back. They all go back to Pelosi and the hammer. It's like, bro, shut up.
Yeah, that was weird. The guy got caught. Okay, somebody broke into his house.
He was
According to-
smiling.
Yes, he was. It was odd. He
was
was in his
weird.
underwear, wearing a dress shirt in the
holding his
middle of the
hand
night. Yes, and he found the guy broke into the house, but the way that the glass had shattered, it looked like it was broken from the inside out as opposed to the outside.
Rob,
in.
was he shot in the neck?
No.
In front of his family and bled out?
To be
So
fair,
shut up with the comparison.
An old man got hit in the head with a hammer. Like you watch the body cam video, and it's odd right up until the moment he tries to whack him in the head with a hammer, and then it is very concerning.
Yeah.
But the point is, you saw Bernie Sanders come out, and on its face, at least, Bernie made a statement that was not terrible in response to Charlie Kirk, where it's like the political violence is bad, and he listed off all the things that had happened that were examples of political violence. The overwhelming majority of them come from the left, and then
now-
the ones that he cited that were on the right are actually not even what he represented them to be. For example, he talked about the shooting of Steve Scalise. That was by one of his supporters, and he's never meaningfully addressed it. Or the attack on Paul Pelosi, which they cite as an example of right-wing violence, even though the dude lived in some hippie nudist colony, took experimental drugs, and flew a pride flag. Or of course, they go to January 6th immediately. He even mentions the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot, which we now conclusively know was
done by the feds.
FBI entrapment of people who otherwise wouldn't have been able to do it. So this thing that they try to do of, it's both sides responsible for political
but,
violence. It's not.
You can look at what happened to Charlie Kirk and mourn him and go, that's sad, and I feel awful for him, his family, anybody that was there that day at the event, anybody that works for Turning Point USA. By the way, props to Turning Point USA.
Tremendous.
So in less than a week, they were able to put on, and somebody spoke about this at the memorial service, they were able to put on Turning Point USA's largest event without Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
And when you look at that, that's like us holding the vault without Pat and having it 3x what it normally is. It doesn't happen.
In 10 days.
So for them, like, props to them. You can look at what happened to Charlie Kirk and mourn that. You can also look at what happened to Melissa Hortman and mourn that as well and go, it sucks that somebody attacked her, killed her, murdered her, assassinated her. You can look at both of those from our side and mourn both of those. How come the other side can mourn one but not the other?
Isn't that weird? And I love
because
how they were trying
one is them and the other one is not.
Well, they were trying to bring up the Horton girl. By the way, the killer was Tim Walz appointed Democrat. Like I love how they tried to turn this all on the other side. The guy said that Tim Walz allegedly hired him to kill what's her name?
Melissa Hortman.
No, Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a freaking psycho. False, lying, fake news. The other one, the moment this happened, they tried to superimpose MAGA, and Jimmy Kimmel and all these losers are trying to say this was a MAGA guy. No, this was a gay, confused, furry dating LGBTQ Antifa-loving fucking loser. Okay, plain and simple. And it infuriates me that not only I don't need you to mourn, but don't try to twist it and say it's the other side, because the numbers came out, all the polling. Democrats are 8 times more like pro political violence.
That was from
don't give me the
YouGov.
bullshit.
And YouGov. So it's not
don't
some
give me that shit.
right-wing pollster company. This is YouGov, which is used by both sides when it comes to data and polling.
Give me a freaking break. And until you guys can admit that something is off with your side, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. You know whose fault it is? It's the politicians. It's the mainstream media. It's Obama and all these assholes for the past 10 years that have been, bro, if you call somebody fascist, Nazi, Hitler, tyrant, over and over, all it takes is one. It takes one weak-minded, soulless, that doesn't know what the hell's going on. That's like, you know what? I have to take out XYZ for all of us because why? God wants me to do it. They need me to do it.
They're Hitler. They're fascist.
Yeah,
they're evil.
I'm doing it for humanity.
Yeah.
Because if I take out Charlie's going to be the next president in 2032 potentially, I have to kill the next Hitler. That's what it is. And the pretending that it's not, it's laughable. I laugh in your face. You know what you're doing, and the fact is that they think that we don't see it. That we're gonna go, oh no, it's just it wasn't that. This guy he's a Trump supporter. You're bananas. You're bananas.
Can we roll it back a little bit? Because we went straight into the negative side of things. And I wanna harp a little bit on how wonderful Miss Erica Kirk did. Like that was a lesson. If I have a daughter, all right, I want her to listen to her. All right, because that's what being a wife is. All right, it was literally a lesson on sacrifice, on being together, on love. It was absolutely amazing.
It was one of the
and
best.
the other guy that I really like, I love this guy.
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, it's my
Stephen
guy.
Miller came out and was like, "We're going to crush you. You have nothing. You will be nothing. You are nothing. You're filled with envy and your hate." And bro, he's right. He's right. And it's like, Bob, and I want to ask you guys, when are they going to adjust? Okay, and I hate keep saying left Democrat, whatever the other side is. When are they going to shift gears and try something different? Your party is at a 35-year low. That's not by accident, okay? And you guys are not jumping off the train, bro. This train is headed for disaster, but they're still not breaking. They're still not breaking ranks. There needs to be a movement from that side of someone with decency, someone with common sense to say, all right, guys, enough is enough, okay? This rhetoric isn't helping, okay? It's not helping our party. Because guess what? When all the dust is settling, the Democrats are sitting around going, all right, hey, guys, what do we stand for? And I'm being that serious. What is the Democratic side stand for? Not Trump. It's over. Guys, in 3 years, it's done. What do you have to stand on? What's the vision? What's the message? What would Gavin Newsom run on right now? Trump's Hitler? Come on. And I'm asking you, take a minute, think. If right now think about it. The Republicans are more like it's faith, it's freedom, it's free speech, it's America, it's smaller government, blah, 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 all that nonsense. Give me one thing that the Democratic Party right now is standing for. Like, what would be their front runner message? What would it be?
I don't know anymore.
I'm being dead serious.
Trump is a demagogue who marches the National Guard into the streets of the Capitol and threatens to take over other cities.
That's not what they're standing.
Yeah,
Give
no.
me your,
all they can stand for is what they're against that Trump is doing.
bingo.
But what they're saying is
no message. Nobody knows what you are.
You're underestimating how powerful that will be for them.
Oh,
though.
no, for sure.
Because what they will do is they will get every conveniently timed B-roll footage of ICE kicking in somebody's door, Trump dropping drone strikes on cartel
he's not running,
boats.
But he's not running, so they're going to push on JD Vance.
They'll say, this is what Vance is doing. Every Republican will be Hitler because every Republican has always been Hitler to them. There was Bush derangement syndrome before there was Trump derangement syndrome. Bush
wasn't as bad, was it?
No, but to Democrats at that point, he was. He was the worst thing they'd ever
Bush Jr.
seen.
with the war and stuff was.
Remember, Bush lied, people died. Was
when they
chanted.
find out that Charlie Kirk was middle of the road.
Yeah.
When they find out that Charlie Kirk was a centrist.
Bro, he called everybody. I showed you guys a tweet where he was going in on Israel. He was going in on this. He was talking crap about everybody. It's the truth.
Charlie was the bottleneck holding back the more radical fringes of the right that are increasingly less fringe. So they have no idea what they just opened up by taking out the one guy who wanted to have conversations.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.